Right, hello everyone, welcome to the 8th round of Season 15 in Division 2 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. My name is Felix1, I'll be taking you through tonight's race, and hopefully we can have another exciting Grand Prix in Division 2 as we always do. I mean, when is the last time we've had a boring race in Division 2? I think that simply just never happened. Yeah, I'll be alone for tonight's commentary, but with a track like Azerbaijan, I think we are gonna have plenty of action that I'll be fine still on my own. Um, yeah, last race as well before the Christmas break. So the last chance in the year of 2024 for the drivers to to have a nice end to the year, you know. The Division 1 race on Saturday wasn't streamed, but was actually won by PC Willy, who of course is racing today as well in Division 2, so we'll see if he can complete the sweep, basically, and win both races in 1 week. And it wasn't a fluke win either. He was actually just outright the fastest driver that day. Admittedly, Kart Racer and Jeremy didn't race. So it was a bit of a weaker grid, especially compared to Vegas, of course. We had all of the reserve drivers who, well, none of which returned for Baku. But he did beat myself and everybody else who attended Division 1 on merit in the race. So yeah, impressive stuff from PC Willy, so for sure keep an eye on him for tonight's race. We also have a new face in Scuffex. He is a friend of PC Willy's, who joined for Division 1 originally, but wasn't able to attend on Saturday, and now he asked to race in Division 2. He's roughly on the same pace as PC Willy, according to PC Willy. So he should be near the front as well. We'll see how that goes. A 15-car grid for tonight's race. Yeah, 2 reserves in Scuffex and Kuko. Apart from that, the usual faces, our championship contenders, all in attendance today. Sully, Gabri, PC Willy. I should check the standings before I say that. Who are the championship contenders now? Sean! Sean is ahead of PC Willy. Sean is on 73 points, yeah. But yeah, all of them are here. All of our top guys. So we should have another good fight in this night's race. The current gap at the front is 32 points from Sully to Gabri with 5 rounds to go in the season. The gap from Sully to Sean, 47, from Sully to PC Willy, 49, from Sully to Edwin, 55. And after that, Phantom is 62 behind, 62 points behind, only has 58, so the gap is larger than the amount of points that Phantom has. So I think let's focus mainly on Gabri and Sully, keep Sean and PC Willy in mind. I think Edwin and downwards we can probably discard in terms of this championship fight. I'm reading full red race from Edwin and all dry from Gabri. Now, who do I believe? Right, I'm gonna believe Gabri, unless I hear from other drivers as well that there is some rain in the race. But a full wet Baku race would certainly be quite the experience. Right, the first driver who is starting a lap here is the Williams of Pix. Of course, no lap set, but he's currently in P10. And there is of course a fight for the constructors as well, although Aston Martin are very much so the favourites in terms of taking that one home. Currently in first place on 184 points. Next closest team is Ferrari on 135, so that's a 49-point gap from Aston Martin with Sully and Edwin to Ferrari, Gabri and Bazooka. And after that, yeah, another big gap. Alpine on 92, Sauber on 91, Williams on 82. So almost 100 points behind Aston Martin. I think we can say quite confidently that Aston Martin have got that one Yeah, I wouldn't say they have won it already, but certainly it's a tough ask for Ferrari, and I think anyone else, well, would be a complete miracle if they could win it now. So the first lap of the session will be from Pix, as you come down to the line. Very long run down, of course, to turn 1, and yeah, this is for sure is going to be the main overtaking opportunity of the race, and it could be a run down to the line come the last lap. 139.779 the first lap of the session, and always goes a bit slower, a 140.333. Then I see an Aston Martin of Sully in behind that, and then who's that behind? I think the Williams of Sean maybe on an outlap. Sully puts in a 39.242, about half a second faster than Pix. Then we have the Sauber of Ossi, and that's a 39.320, only a tenth off of Sully. Edwin, he joins his teammate on the front row, and it's very close between the two of them. 39.263 for Edwin. And we see a Ferrari up to the line, that's Gabri, who goes onto pole position with a 39.021. Sean has invalidated his lap in the first 2 corners. How have you even managed that? Physically, how do you manage to fit between the white line and the wall at any of those first 2 corners? Right, the Sauber of Viral starting a lap, and then Lanky Brown coming to the end of one as well, and after that I think we're done with the first lap of the session. Yeah, Viral the starting one, Sean invalidated his, Kuko's on track, and then PCB, Phantom, Scarfax and Bazooka all still in the pit lane. Lanky Brown goes into 7th with a 140.647. We can go with Viral, he's the only one on a hot lap at the minute. At the moment, 39.0, the fastest time for the session. The pole time in Division 1 was a 38.3, I believe, from myself. And the fastest, well, the second fastest time was a 38.6 from PC Woody, if I remember correctly. Yes. Just had to double check the pole times. Pix retiring from the session. He has he crashed? No, he's retired in the pits, I think. Interesting. So he's only actually gonna do the 1 lap there and call it in. And now Rival coming up to the back of one of the Ferraris, but he gets out of the way nicely. That would have been, yeah, Gabri. Bazooka's in the pit lane right now. I can also have a quick look at Sean, see what he's doing. Is he gonna start another lap? Don't think so. He's still on none mode, so we'll go back to Viral to finish his lap. 114.780 middle sector. Yellow flags in the final sector as one of the Aston Martins up ahead, probably run out of fuel on their way to the pit box. Viral a bit low on the EIS. He's gonna run off the plan for the lap in a moment. So he's gonna lose a lot of time here down to the line. The EIS open now, there we go. Deploy used for the lap, no more EIS modes. And in the end, that's a 39.590. P4 and P5 for the Kick Sauber boys right now. Always on his second lap already, 12 thousandths up in the first sector. But he's gone down to none mode, so he made a mistake somewhere, I assume, and has abandoned the lap. Gabri out of fuel and back to the pit lane. Ossi on another lap, 3/10 up in the first sector. Down to second gear for the castle. Of course, I would say the most difficult corner. No, I wouldn't say the most difficult corner on track. I would say that one is coming up next for Ossi. But for sure, the castle is the easiest to DNF, because if you make a mistake, it's over. But it's much easier to make a mistake through here, as Kuku retires in the pits as well. Yes, no, he retires in the castle. Kuku has crashed in the castle. You can quickly go on board with Viral, who's coming up to it, and see if you can spot him. Of course, yellow flags out. No, he's despawned. That's a shame. But yeah, Kuku, the first one to be called out by the castle section. The tightest part on the Formula 1 calendar. And Ossi goes back to the pit lane. Is not going to finish this lap. Lanky Brown also looking slow. PC Wooly. One of the favorites for tonight, of course. Finally on his first lap in the Mercedes here. A 39.021 from Gabri to beat, and for sure that is what PC Wooly is aiming for. He needs to be at the front. He needs to be beating Sully, he needs to be beating Gabri if he wants a sniff at this championship. And a purple first sector, 35.4. Now let's quickly check what that is compared to Gabri's. Yeah, that's actually 2 tenths faster. So PC with a great start in lap, but he's getting some traffic here. The Red Bull of Scuffex does let him pass just before the castle, but for sure that would have distracted PC a bit. Fourth gear through the castle, very nice there, keeping the traction. And now also the Aston Martin and the Williams there making way for him very nicely. No time loss there, and now over the curb a bit. Down to the final corner. A 1:13.778 middle sector. And quickly check once again. Gabri 34.7, 39.5. Pisivoli 34.5, 39.2. So Pisivoli is an absolute storm overlap here. He's way up on Gabri. And of course, with only the straight to go, you would think he can't be losing much time here. And he isn't. 38.648 for Pisivoli, a 4/10 gap between himself and Gabri at the front of the grid. Now that is a statement. And that's still 3/10 of... No, I lied. That is not 3/10 of his Div 1 time. That's actually faster than his Division 1 time by 12,000 of a second, so he's improved a bit since Saturday, and of course he still has, I would say, 1 more run to go, maybe 2? Probably 1. It's a long track. Raul down to the line here, improves by 2.5 tenths, but stays in 6th position, as he's 36 thousandths of his teammate. We've got Gabri starting a lap, always starting a lap, and then Bazooka behind that starting a lap. Sully is the next car across the line as he goes down to the castle. Was a bit fast in there, got a bit scared. Currently in 3rd place, 2 tenths behind Gabri. And we've got yellow flags in behind, I think that's just, yeah, letting someone past, all good. So, Sully in the middle sector, he is up by 5 tenths, a big improvement from Sully. Not quite on PC level, but we'll see if he can gain enough down the straight. He's got quite a bit of EIS left still, so he's managed that rather well to now be able to burn all the way to the line. And the EIS of course enabled now as we approach the line for Sully. What is it going to be? That's a 1:38.742, just under a tenth of PC Woody, gaining exactly a second on his previous best. Gabri on a lap as well though, we'll see if he can counter. So, in the middle sector, Gabri is up by 2.5 tenths. So yes, he's gonna get close to Gabri, to Pisivoli and Sully with that. Edwin, over the line, 39.096, stays just behind Gabri. Aussie starting a lap as well up ahead. Gabri coming down to the line, he's got just enough EIS left now, burns a bit of oil tech, which might actually cost him some time as he goes well below 10%. But over the line, 38.661. Retakes 2nd place. It's not quite enough for PC only, but it's rather close there. 13 thousandths of a second. Scuffex in 9th there with a 1:40.045. I think he's going for another lap on the same tire. And he's coming up to the back of Sean, who isn't on the lap right now, so hopefully the Williams will make way for him. I'll see all over that curb. Really aggressive. See if he can get the delta. Nope. Game won't give it to us. But he's a bit low on EIS here, Scuffex. That could cost him on the run down to the line. As he's under 30% already. And he's 7 tenths down as well. Okay. Always said it was up by 5 tenths, but that's... he hasn't even mentioned the other sector once, and that's definitely not true. Aussie, quite a lot of curb used through there. And he is up by 1.5 tenths, always down by 1.5 seconds. And Aussie down to the line, currently in 5th, 39.320. And it's a big improvement to get into 4th place. And he's gonna improve, but stay in 5th place. Just over a tenth gained, 39.205, still just over a tenth away from Edwin in 4th place there. We've got Phantom Fox on his first lap of the session, currently in 14th. Edwin back to the pit lane, Gabby back to the pit lane, both out of fuel. Bazooka not on a hot lap. Lanky Brown, is he pushing at the moment? Quite a lot of ERS to be played with there. And he's up by 29 thousandths. And now he can burn all of that ERS that he's been saving without a lap to gain a lot of time down the straight here. And there he goes, overtake mode enabled. But he's almost off deployment for the lap now. DRS enabled, let's see, how much is he gonna gain as we go over the line? That's a 140.159. 12th place for Lanky Brown, stays where he was. Phantom Fox, he goes into 7th place, a 139.643, just under a second of pole position there. And with that, we currently don't have anyone on a push lap, I think. Yep, that's it. 3 minutes left to go in qualifying. And the drivers are now either all in the pit lane or on the out lap for the final lap. Let's see if Aussie... He has turned the hot lap on, so I think he's gonna go for another lap on the same tire here. Since, yeah, he won't have enough time to go back in and out, so he might as well try this. And he's already quite low on ERS as he starts a lap. Was all of that ERS burn really worth the 50 meters you get from the line to turn 1? Well, it might be a bit more than 50 meters, but you get my point. Rival on his lap as well, so both Saubers on their push laps at the same time. Rival 1.5 tenths up in the first sector. And seeing as with their gaps currently to the cars behind and ahead, I think they might be only fighting each other here, Aussie and Viral. Aussie up by 24 thousandths. But he goes into the barrier and that would have cost him some time for sure, and now I think he's abandoning the lap. Yep, that's Aussie done. Might get one more lap in, but at that point his tire will be very worn out. So the Sauber team rivalry could go Viral's way in qualifying here. A lot of curb to be used through there, and that was really nice. And he is up by 82,000. He's lost a bit compared to the first sector. Let's see if he gains it back down to the line though. Through the air section, of course, fully fed out in these dry conditions. A bit of a tap on the barrier, that was unnecessary. Now he's out of ERS as he's burned quite a lot of overtake early on in the straight, and he's gonna lose speed all the way to the line. That is a 139.403, doesn't improve in the end. Viral staying in 6th place. Phantom on another lap on the same tire as well. Sean starting his lap as well. He's just come through sector 1, 86 thousandths down. Currently down in 10th place, 1.3 seconds off pole position. This is not helping Sean's title ambitions. He needs to overcome a significant gap to Sully. That gap being 47 points. And like this, that is just not gonna happen. And he's abandoned the lap as well. Edwin, Gabri have both started the laps. Sully coming up to the line, PC Uli coming up to the final corner. PC Uli, is he gonna make the line? 30 seconds to come over the straight. Could be a bit close. No, he should be fine. We see people crossed like through there with like 114, 115, and they cross the line at 139, 140. So yeah, he will just about make it with about 5 seconds to spare, I think. Yeah. Oh, 5 seconds to spare. My wheel knowledge. It's off the charge. Well, no, not really. I didn't know until I just did the math. My second grade math knowledge is off the charts. Alright, Aussie on another lap as well. 2 tenths up despite the very used tires. Edwin in behind him. 2 tenths up as well. Phantom goes into 5th place, 39.186. Jumps the 2 Saubers. Viral, not on the lap, might give his teammate a tow to the line. That could be the deciding few thousandths for Aussie to go up a few more places here. And Aussie jumps into 4th place. He jumps Edwin as well, but of course Edwin on an improvement also. And Edwin over the line retakes 4th place. Sully 1/10 up in the first sector. Gabri up to the line, 2/10 up. And he takes pole position, 38.461 by Gabri. Scarfax jumps into 4th place, 38.8 dead. Bazooka, PC, Sully, those three are still going. Sully will be the first across the line, then Bazooka, who is right ahead of PC. That could be a problem. Oh, PC might get a perfect hole from Bazooka as he comes down the line. Sully, 38.533, jumps PC for P2, but he's now gonna get a slipstream from Bazooka all the way down to the line. This could be PC chance to retake pole position. Dia isn't able down to the line. Bazooka in 12th, PC in 3rd. Where do they end up? Bazooka over the line, 9th, PC. I couldn't see it. Where's he end up? He stayed in 3rd. He stayed in 3rd. Despite the slipstream, PC was not able to beat Sully or Gabri as he came over the line. And that's Gabri taking pole position here in Baku. But look at those gaps. 38.461. Then Sully 38.533, 72,000 behind PC and another 11,000 behind that, 38.544. Then Scarfax 38.8, Edwin 38.8, Aussie 38.9, the first one in the 39th. Phantom Fox, then Rowd and Bazooka in 8th and 9th picks, rounding out the top 10. Owise, Sean, Lanky Brown, Action Rick, and finally Cuckoo in 15th hasn't completed the lap. And with that done, we are set up for the race, 26 laps around the streets of Baku. And, well, it's gonna be one hell of a race for sure. Sunny skies, so the rain all race weather report from Edwin firmly confirmed to be a lie. Thank you, Edwin. But I think the drivers are going to be quite glad about that. Of course, I can't speak for everyone. Surely there is at least some weirdo who likes rain. But at least in a track like this, I'm quite happy when it's not raining. Unless I think I'm way off the pace and I need some chaos. Then maybe I'll take some rain. But usually I'm just scared I'll end up in the wall. And for good reason. I've ended up in the wall plenty of times around Baku. And there's no shame in admitting that. I think most league racers who race regularly around here have put the car in a barrier more than once. It is one of the most challenging tracks on this game, on this calendar. The wall's so close. Yeah, and the corners, especially the castle section, can end your race instantly. And you won't even know what happened. There we go, the 5 red lights are on. Ready for the race start. Gabri on the left-hand side, Sully on the right on the inside. And they both get away pretty well. Gabri safe in the turn 1, but in behind. Quite a bit of chaos. Scarfax on the inside, then PC and Edwin. Both on his outside. PC hanging around the outside of Scarfax and retakes 3rd place. Was the Alpine of Phantom, I think, going to the back of someone. Bazooka has been spun around in the background, and he drops to last place. Sully now the slipstream on Gabri, trying to get a run down towards turn 3. Around the outside, Sully goes, tries to outbrake the Ferrari, and he does go clean around the outside. A beautiful move by Sully. Gabri cannot fight against it, and he relinquishes the lead early on here in the race. PC having a look to the outside as well into the chicane. But that's never on. Never on as we now come down towards the castle section for the first time. And everyone surely is not going to try anything here. Edwin here is having a look up the inside, but no. You don't want to start a battle here. One corner before this one. And it's so scary to turn into that corner, because if you turn in the tiniest moment too early or too late, that's your race over. But for the first lap, it appears, yep, everyone has come through cleanly. Sean has a few places, but I didn't see any wings flying, and I didn't see any DNFs either, so that's beautiful. We have made it at least once. And as we come off the lap, Sully with a 7/10 gap on Gabri, putting the foot down early here. Scarfax on the hards, everybody else starting on the medium. I think with the assumption that there could be an early safety car. Quite a lot of people would prefer to have the hard tire available to go to the end from there. But the medium lasts quite a long time as well, it's worth mentioning. You can go a whole race on the medium, realistically as well. Edwin sends it up the inside. Bit of contact made though. And they are into the barrier. That was not the smartest of moves, I would say. Both Edwin and Scarfax probably with damage, and the race is firmly ruined. Yeah, Scarfax with big damage there. Edwin sent it up the inside and simply did not leave space on the exit. And Edwin actually came away better, but he also has a bit of front-wing damage with the end plate on the right-hand side. Oh no! Well, Edwin came away completely fine. Scarfax has been screwed over. That is very unfortunate, and it's very rare that as a commentator I immediately put blame on someone, but that was simply so obvious who to blame. Yeah, not the most intelligent move I've seen from Edwin, and I think he's not gonna know that himself immediately as well. At the front though, it's a bit of chaos in behind. The top three have pulled away a bit. The Salbers of Aussie and Viral chasing in behind. Oh, and as I say, that Phantom making a move coming out of the castle section, so for sure a mistake for Viral there, otherwise that's just never gonna happen. Aussie has also now broken DAS in the cars behind. And on a track like this, the DAS is quite crucial. That's where you gain most in the lap time. I mean, look at how long that straight is, how long you're flat out for. If you get a good slipstream and some DAS, you can gain about a second on that one straight alone. And there's another DAS straight after that as well, of course. So that is a load of time loss if you don't have DAS to someone. So yeah, very important for Gabri that he's managed to stay in touch with Sully here. And yeah, you can see the gap from PC to Aussie opening up. Gabri having a look up the inside. Not quite. Scarfax back to the pit lane. Of course has to change that wing. So yeah, very good news for him that the medium lasts for so long. He can go to the end from here in theory. Of course he will have a good bit of tire wear. So he's gonna hope for another safety car and he can... Yeah, that the race gets spiced up a bit as Gabri and Sully battle. Once again, Sully is ghosting. They've made some contact. That was a terrible camera angle. I couldn't really tell what happened. But they are side by side into the next corner again. And now PC Willy is getting involved as Gabri has cleared Sully. And PC Willy gets past as well. Sully dropping 2 places in 2 corners. Hopefully no damage on the car. No, looks good. But Aussie has taken advantage of that battle and he's joined the battle for the lead here. We've now got a 4-way fight. Gabri, PC Willy, Sully and Aussie all in range of each other. PC Willy actually has underfueled the car. You can see the yellow fuel light. We've got a virtual safety car. I'm gonna guess it has something to do with the fact that Always McLaren has... well, no front wing anymore. And I mean, he just came from the castle, so we go on board with Scarfax, and I'm gonna assume there's a McLaren front wing lying on the ground somewhere here. Nope, I don't see anything. Well, maybe it's despawned immediately, but I'm gonna guess that Always got the castle wrong. And Bazooka, the drive-through penalty, speeding under VSC, too eager on the restart. And that's, yeah, a big time loss for him in this race. So everyone makes a pass on Sean Moore up to 8th. Sully is also not at the best of restarts. He didn't get a drive-through, but he did lose the ERS to PC Willy, and he's quite low on ERS. While PC Willy and Gabri have plenty of ERS. Not looking good for Sully right now. And he has indeed dropped out of the ERS. Let's see if Optics can take advantage of that. Battle up ahead, maybe? No, PC Willy stays behind Gabri. Phantom Fox also now in DRS range to Aussie. So if Sully can reconnect these trains, we suddenly have a 5-way fight, maybe even more cars, as Viral is not far off Phantom. You could have a train all the way from Gabri to Sean. Although Viral with a bit of a barrier tap on the inside there. He's gonna need to burn some ERS and put his foot down. Stay close to Phantom, and then we could have... well, yeah, a 9-way battle at the front of the pack. PC Willy very much so set up for a move down the next straight. Practically pushing Gabri here from the middle sector. Needs to brake early, make sure he doesn't go into the back of the Ferrari. That'll be the last thing any of them want now. Any sort of incident or chaos, they're going to be very happy with the positions they're in. Viral not quite able to get into the DRS to Phantom. But still, that second train is not far off this first train, so a tiny battle in the top 5, and suddenly Viral, Pix, Edwin and Sean will be right there. And here we go. A couple of moves happening in behind. Edwin slicing through this pack, moves up to 6th place. Not much happening up in the leading train. Viral drops from maybe, yep, 6th to 9th. In one straight and one corner there is Edwin, Pix and then Sean all pass him. He tries to knock it back around here to love Sean, but that's just, yeah, never gonna work. And all of a sudden, Viral dropping quite a lot of places as Peaceably now makes a move on Gabri happen. Takes the lead of the race. But Gabri with a massive roundy exit, all of a sudden back alongside. And they are side by side down towards the chicane. What a battle this is turning out to be now. Gabri maybe trying to switch back. Yes, the switchback down towards the final corner before the castle. It's either here or you have to sit behind. And Gabri chooses to sit behind. He's gonna wait for the DRS straight coming up at the end of the lap. Because of course there is no way you can battle into this corner. In theory, I think exactly 3 cars fit next to each other. But of course, like that's if you place them perfectly. And even 2 cars, you're not gonna make that work for sure. Phantom Fox now with a disconnect, that's very unfortunate. I'll get him invited as soon as I can. Is he here? No. Right. I'll invite him to the PlayStation. That might be faster than waiting for him to go online again. There we go, invite sent, and back to the race quickly. Oh, he's already back in. Oh, thank you guys. Nothing happening up front. Viral is in the pits, quite early on. Of course, Phantom now losing a good amount of places here with that disconnect. And Viral goes onto the hards, and a wing change that explains the early pit stop. Phantom back in control, I think, already, so he hasn't actually lost, yeah, he hasn't lost the race entirely. He's dropped, yeah, where was he before? I think behind, no, he was, I think, just behind Aussie. He's lost 2 places, so this actually has not hurt him too badly. Of course, he has lost DRS to the leading train, but he's right behind Sean, and Sean is only 2 seconds behind that train, so it's not the end of the world for Phantom Fox. Peaceably almost broken DRS to Gabri, who makes a bit of a mistake on the exit there, and that could be the deciding couple of thousands. If Peaceably can get Gabri out of DRS here all of a sudden, he would be in control of the race. And that would be absolutely crucial, but I think Gabri has just not managed to stay inside. But he's very low on the DRS here. And Gabri needs to be absolutely perfect for the next couple of laps, otherwise Peaceably could run away. Or has he stayed inside DRS? He's only just crossed detection, but I think Gabri has lost DRS, and now that he's so low on the air, he's gonna lose all the way down the straight. And here comes Sully with the move on Gabri, also completely out of ERS, but he needed to make that move. Slingshot past Gabri, and I think it's worked out. Yep, the plan has worked. Sully's back in DRS to PC, where the battle continues. But of course, Sully himself, about 30% less ERS, now he's in danger of losing out on the 1 second range to PC with this lap. He needs to have a perfect lap here as well. Moves happening as well. The back Scarfax, fastest lap, 2 laps in a row now, I think. And he's up to 12th. Of course, a long comeback drive for him to go. Either it's going to be a very long medium stint, or 1 more pit stop. And the same goes for Bazooka, who made a pit stop on the first lap, I think. No. Bazooka didn't pit, did he? Oh, he had a drive-through penalty, there we go. I was wondering why he's in the back of Scarfax. When Gabri almost off DRS, Sully was almost off DRS to PC really. These 3 at the front are all now putting the foot down. Edwin has lost DRS to Aussie. So there is currently no strategy at all. They are just going all out to try and break the DRS. And I think it might have worked somewhat. Gabri, is he gonna stay inside? Sean and Fathom battling, coming onto the long straight. And actually the top 3 stayed together. I think Aussie might have dropped out of DRS. No, just about. All still in range, but look at the ERS difference. 13, 11, 19, 57. PC really looks so comfortable at the front. Has to use a lot less ERS to almost get him out of the ERS range, while the cars behind are burning everything they have just to stay close. Phantom Fox and Sean Moore battling side by side. Oh! And the 2 Williams have crashed! Sean! With a half spin on the exit of turn 2 and gets a 10-second penalty for it as well. Spinning into the side of his Williams teammate Pix. And they are both in the barrier. Both with a destroyed front wing. The full safety car is out on track. Full safety car deployed. And Sean actually got a 10-second penalty from the game for a severe collision, which you very rarely see the game giving penalty collisions. But yeah, Pix battling with Phantom on the exit. Wasn't Sean, was Pix. Apologies for that. And Sean pulling alongside on the exit, getting loose, making contact, and from then on, yeah, both drivers and passenger. And they are surely now all going to come into the pits, put on a set of hard tires, and go to the end. So any sort of tire strategy here has been removed from the equation. Quite good for the guys like Scarfax and Bazooka, who are at the back of the grid. Lanky and Viral already made their pits. Well, Viral also with the wing change, but for Lanky for sure, I think he was going for an undercut just now. This is quite bad. Pix also is being entirely screwed here by the game. Oh, wait, Sean, is he being nice? Yes! Oh, nice to see. Because Sean had a 10-second penalty, he used to have to serve that in the pit lane, then change his wing, and then Pix could make his pit stop and also change his wing, so Pix would have lost about 20 seconds in the pits compared to everybody else who's pitting. But Sean, yeah, being nice enough to at least let his teammate through so he can change his wing first before Sean has to serve his penalty. After he's killed him. Yeah, but as I said, everybody into the pits, of course. Changing onto the far tires. A couple of double stacks, of course, up and down the field. And yeah, there we go, the Williams as well. Sean now has to wait behind Pix, who's changing his wing. Then Sean can serve his 10-second penalty once he's in the slot. Yeah, now 10 seconds before the mechanics can change the tire. So yeah, if Sean had gone first here, I think Pix might have dropped behind Owise, because of course he'd have to wait 10 seconds for this penalty. Then have to wait about 7 or 8 seconds for this, and then Pix could make his pit stop. So yeah, this swap under safety car has saved Williams a couple of places. Pix would have for sure dropped behind Owise if you look at where Owise is now compared to Sean. So a smart decision by Williams there to swap the cars. Of course, this cost Sean a couple of positions. He probably would have been well, maybe ahead of... Actually, he probably would have been in the same place, and Pix would have been last. So actually, this has worked out very well for Williams. They haven't lost anything from that swap. Well, the swap has worked out very well for Williams. Everything else, you don't want to be crashing with your teammate. Let's get that very clear. Also, it's still saying virtual safety car, while I can see a very real safety car out on track, right ahead of Aston Martin of Sully, who's also taken the lead under this safety car. I think it was PC really in the lead before, wasn't it? So, yeah, Sully jumping PC really in the pit lane. And like I said, everybody going onto the hards. Varun has gone back onto them, I think. No, or was he... No, I don't know. Scarfax gone onto a... Oh, that's not good. Lanky Brow with a disconnect, and he's the host for today. So... See, I specifically... Flame was offered to host as well, but he didn't turn up even, but... We specifically picked Lanky Brown because his connection is quite stable, and now he gets a disconnect. That's ironic. I hope he can get back in, but usually when the host leaves, that kind of kills the lobby. And Lanky Brown is in the pits? What is this AI doing? What? He's been put on wall mediums. Oh my god. What is this strategy? Lanky Brown. Disconnecting from the session, and then the AI pits him and puts him on used medium tires. What on earth is that strategy? From 6th to 15th, and from fresh hards you can go to the end to use mediums that are probably not gonna see the end of this race. Now that is truly messed up. And hopefully, I'm not sure, has he messaged yet anything? Well, safety car in this lap. Sully in control of this restart. Followed by PC, Willy, Gabri, Aussie, Edwin, Phantom, Viral, Kukro, Pix, Action, Scuffex, Bazooka, Sean, Always, and the AI of Lanky Brown. Safety car in the pit entry. Now, Sully can go at any moment he chooses to. He's gonna keep waiting, keep waiting, keep waiting. Still warming up the tire. Now he's gone. And a good restart from PC Willy as he pulls into the slipstream. He is right behind Sully. Quite a long slipstream into turn 1. We're going to be seeing a couple of moves, I think, here happening. As Gabri sends it up the inside of PC Willy, but cannot complete the move. There was a winglet flying in the background. Someone just got wing damage. I am not sure who. Or it was just a spark or something, I don't know. But I think someone just got damage. But still all the same. No movements happening. At the front of the pack, and not at the back either. Action Rig has dropped to last place though. So he might have been the one who I saw a wing flying off, I'm not sure. It's Pix and Kukra battling into the chicane. Kukra goes in the back of him. But they all stay where they are. Here's the castle section again. And they all come out cleanly so far. We'll check the back of the grid as well. PC Willy has damage, I think. Lanky Brown back in the lobby. Sully just went into the wall hard on the exit of turn 15, but he's gotten lucky. But PC Willy... No. The black end plate was often mistake just kind of camouflaged into the background. Apologies. False alarm, PC Willy's wing is fully intact. I don't have eyes. Okay, sometimes the end plates, if they're black, they are actually quite hard to see, like with the tire, you know? Like they blend into the tire. As stupid as it sounds. It was Pix, right? Juko has damage. No, he doesn't. Pix for sure has damage. Okay, finally we found the culprit. Pix is the one who has the damage. Cuckoo doesn't have damage. I saw his end plate just after I thought I didn't see his end plate. But movement happening in behind as well. Scarfax up into 8, of course, making use of those mediums. As he moves up into 8, 1.9 seconds, 1.7 behind Rival. Has to make a comeback drive, of course, after the incident with Edwin earlier. Was he in the barrier? That was Rival, sorry. Second Sauber, not the first. So maybe some damage on Rival Sauber as well now. Have a quick look. Yellow flags for Edwin with a crash in the castle section. And the safety car has been put out once again. Edwin. Front left tire is gone, so we know exactly what happened. He turned in too early for the corner. Clipped the inside barrier. And the suspension gave way. Race over for Edwin, just like that, in a fraction of a second. And we have got the second safety car of the Grand Prix. So what do you do? Do you go back to the mediums, or do you see on the hards? What is the play? I actually have no idea, because the race we did in Division 1 was a soft medium. So I didn't touch the hards, I don't know if they're any good. And it appears the front runners are gonna stay out on the hards. Maybe Pix gonna pit for a wing change? Yes, Pix is in. But apart from that, it looked... Okay, Rival is in as well. So we might have gotten damage from the wall tap we saw earlier. Action Rick is in. Lanky Brown pitted for fresher hards, of course. The AI screwed him and put him onto the mediums. He went back to the hards. Wing change for Rival, wing change for Pix. Action Rick onto mediums as well. Lanky Brown staying out. And Lanky Brown is going to come out just ahead of Action Rick and just behind Pix. And suddenly, of course, we talked about the Constructors' Championship earlier. Well, currently Aston Martin is going 25 and Ferrari is going 17, so it's still going Aston Martin's way. But they've got a car less in this race. And of course Gabi has been battling Sully. Well, not just Sully, but in this situation I'm talking about Sully and Aston Martin, so PC really isn't relevant. But yeah, he's been battling PC really and Sully mainly. So that could still swing Gabri's way, and Bazooka can pick up good points as well. He's currently in 9th. So if he can get a couple places further up the field, if Gabri can beat Sully, it could be a big swing in favor of Ferrari now. And that 49-point gap that Aston Martin have could be cut into by Ferrari today. Safety car should be in at the end of the next lap. Everybody's caught up already, so that's very nice to see. So yeah, end of lap 40, we should be back on the way, and Sully can do another restart, as he did last time. The thing for PC and Gabri is, even if they beat Sully, they need, well, probably a bit more than that. The gap is quite big, especially for Piscioli. He needs, well, I've done the math. If Gabri finishes P1 and Sully finishes P2 every race from here on out, Gabri will win the championship. So it's still in Gabri's hands, just about. He needs to gain about 6 point something points per race from here. Of course, if you finish P1 and your rival finishes P2, you're gaining 7 points, 25 points over 18. But of course, you can't, like, winning every race is quite a tough ask. So if you're gonna win the race, it's better, well, of course, always better, but it's, I would say, necessary for Sully to lose more than 7 points sometimes, for this to still be possible for Gabri. So what Gabri needs is, well, I mean, I would say the ideal scenario for Gabri in terms of without any sort of like massive chaos or a bottle from Sully or anything like that, is that Gabri wins this race, PCWD finishes second, and Sully finishes third. And of course, for PCWD, I mean, for all of them, the ideal scenario is that they win. But I'm saying Gabri is gonna hope that PCWD can also beat Sully, so the points gain is a lot stronger. And in the same vein, PCWD. The thing is, for PCWD, he needs to beat them both. He also needs to gain on Gabri. Sean down in 7th. Well, he's mathematically in the title fight. He's ahead of PCWD even. But he's not looking fast. He's not looked fast all season, all game. He just gets into the title fight sort of on consistency quite a lot. He's just always there, doesn't miss races, doesn't DNF, always picks up a couple of points. But this season I think that is not going to be quite enough. You need to be winning those races, getting those big points in. And Sean hasn't been doing enough of that. Safety car has been called in again. Sully slowing the pack down. I'll be back on the way in a moment. Warming those tires up as much as possible. And now it's gonna go. Restarting the race, and PCWD once again has reacted pretty well. I don't think it'll be enough for a run to turn 1, but he's staying very close. Phantom though with a run on Aussie. But he's got the outside line, he's stuck in behind the Ferrari of Gabri and can't outbrake the Sauber, has to settle for 5th place. Scuffex might take advantage of that, yes he does. Up into 5th place goes the Red Bull. And even with a run on Aussie it looks like. Oh no, that was Phantom was battling. I don't have eyes in my head apparently. Sully stays in the lead from PCWD, doesn't have a run to turn 3 either, saves the ERS instead. And in behind, nothing much going on either. Scuffex has jumped Phantom, apart from that I think everybody stayed where they restarted this Grand Prix. So this time around, no commentators' curses. I won't celebrate too early that we've made it through the S section, through the castle section, sorry. But PCWD following closely. So he's been looking really fast all evening here. Sully has a tough task ahead of him trying to beat this guy to the win. And I would say Scuffex has quite good chances as well there in 5th place on those mediums. They will not be 2-1 out come the end of the race. I think you get about 1% a lap on the medium. Maybe 2. Yeah, I think 2% a lap, maybe. Like 2.5. Somewhere around that. With a good driving style for the tires. So, with 15 laps and a couple of safety car laps, he won't have more than like 50%. The hards, of course, will have barely anything by then, even. But what I'm saying is the medium will not get anywhere close to the cliff or anything like that. So if he can get up to the front and then, yeah, just make advantage of those, or make use of the advantage that he has with those mediums. Despite the fact that he's got quite a few cars in between himself and Sully in P1, his chances are good. Phantom Fox needs to push to stay in contact with the leaders though. Or it's dropped out of DRS currently. But he's got a couple of corners left until we're back in the main straight, where the DRS will be activated, where most of the time gain is. Oh, and Bazooka heavy into the barrier in the background. And he has lost part of his wing in the process. That's going to cost him quite a bit of downforce. And Bazooka now in trouble from the cars behind. On the fresh mediums as well. Rival, well, always not fresh mediums, but Pix and Action Rig as well on the fresh mediums. Lanky Brown are all going to be putting pressure on him. PCWD very close in behind Sully. Into the final corner they go, 3/10 a gap only. PCWD should be able to make a move on Sully if he wants to. But Gabri is far enough behind that he can also choose to not go for the move on Sully, and he shouldn't have to worry about Gabri flying past them both or anything like that. We'll see if Sully wants to, or if PCV wants to take this lead, or if he lets Sully have it. Of course, with a run to the line this long, it might actually be advantageous to have P2 on that. Well, why am I saying might? I know for a fact it's advantageous to have P2 come the last lap. As long as you can stay within like 5/10, you have a good chance of catching the leader before the line. And that's all that matters. So, PC really in the lead, Sully having a look up the inside, but not from that far back. So they all stay where they are. Sean has made a move on Phantom Fox, he's up into 6th place now. 1.5 behind Aussie. He's gonna have to try and get into the DRS range, 1 second. 6/10 to be gained. And the top 5 are doing a rather good job of avoiding any lengthy battles. They're just making the moves in the straights and completing them at the first possible opportunity, not going side by side for too long and losing time in the process. That's keeping Sean and Phantom at arm's reach. But Sean, he is definitely gaining on Aussie. He's putting a bit of pace here on the track. And the gap is closing down. Sean might be able to join the battle for the race win. That would of course be absolutely crucial. But even then, he still has quite a few cars in between himself and the guys he's battling for the title. Sully, Gabri, PC all sitting in the top 3. Sean down in 6th. Is he gonna get within a second of Aussie before the detection point? It's coming up just after this S section. And I think he's just about made it, yes. So Sean... yeah, just about now. Made the 6-car train. But Aussie might actually drop away from Scuffex. Up ahead. Rival with a move on Kuka as he moves up into 8th. Of course, in the pits of Azerbaijan, he has a lot of work to do to get back to where he was earlier. At the front, all staying the same. PC really needs some Sully, Gabri, then Scuffex. Kuka and Viral battling as Viral has got a bit of damage on the front left end plate. They make contact coming out the corner. But thankfully both of them managed to correct the oversteer and stay in the race. But wing damage for both Viral and Bazooka in this train. And both on the same side. Bazooka into the wall again. Same mistake as earlier, but not quite as hard of a hit this time around. But for sure that will not be helping them the damage he already has. So I talked about how Ferrari has a good chance of eating into Aston Martin's lead. Right now, they're not making good use of that, with Bazooka just about holding on to a single point. And yeah, seeing as how close Pix is to the back of the Ferrari, how much longer is Bazooka going to be able to hold on to that one? Sully, meanwhile, he's almost lost DRS to Pisivoli, who's not even burning, he's not even bothered. If he burns here, he's ready of Sully, I think, maybe. Yes, Pisivoli has gotten Sully out of DRS, and that will now allow Gabri to open his DRS and overtake the Aston Martin, yes. Slingshot past and into the DRS of Pisivoli. And all of a sudden, Sully is down to 3rd, and that's a 10-point swing in favor of Pisivoli in this championship fight. Bazooka and Kuku battling at turn 1. We've got a spin in the background. That's, yeah, DC Rival off into the runoff zone. More contact as they go 3 wide and move over in the braking zone. That was, well, interesting for sure. Thankfully no one is in the barrier, but I think a bit more damage on the Ferrari of Bazooka. Yep. And quite a bit of car contact made their Rival off into turn 1 as well. I didn't see what happened to him, unfortunately. I just saw the yellow flag and the car spun. Bazooka now outside of the points. He's lost out to Pix and Owise. Lanky Brown and Rolf, that has made up quite a place now, currently, or suddenly up into 9th place. Of course, he was running in 6th in Phantom Fox before the disconnect, so rather unfortunate still. But at least he's back in the points paying positions. Can try and salvage maybe a P8 from this race. I think the 5-second gap from Lanky to Phantom is quite a big one to try and make up in, well, the little amount of laps we have left. Back on the main straight for the leaders. Gabri definitely too far back from Pisivoli to think about a move here. But he can use the DRS to close in. Pisivoli with over double the DRS though. So advantage still Pisivoli. Of course, he seems to have a big pace advantage over these guys, and he can use that to save the ERS for the end of the day. Scarfax now with a run on Sully. Tries stacking round the outside into turn 1. They make a bit of contact, banging wheels. Sully can't get the exit that Scarfax can, and Sully now down to 4th place. And suddenly it's a 13-point swing in favor of Pisivoli. This is working out very well. Bazooka is in the pit lane to get the wing changed, and he'll be way behind the pack. Onto a set of soft tires. At least a good chance for the fastest lap, but still that is, yeah, very, very unfortunate for Bazooka. Getting involved in an incident with the other cars there. And his race down the drain, unfortunately. Not been a good Azerbaijan Grand Prix for him. And I was talking earlier about how you should look out for Scarfax. Now he's made the move on Sully. He's got Gabri in his sights. Yellow flags for Bazooka, who's gone into the runoff, coming out the pit lane. And he's done with the race. Bazooka's race is done. Ferrari also down to 1 car in this race. And it's all on Gabri to try and beat Sully in terms of the Constructors' Championship. But I think Gabri is mainly worried about the Drivers' Championship. But same motivation. Outscore Sully by as much as possible. And Gabri, he's almost lost the ERS to Pisivoli now, and I think with the ERS below 10%, the overtake button does nothing, and Pisivoli drives away, and here comes Scarfax immediately taking advantage. DRS enabled, quite simply drives past the Ferrari. Gabri with, yeah, a 10 kph speed difference there in favor of Scarfax. No chance. Now all of a sudden, he's up to 2nd place, Scarfax. And we've got a battle between Pisivoli and Scarfax for the lead of the race here. If he can stay close enough. Gabri and Sully both dropped out of the DRS and then were overtaken for 2nd place with the car overtaking them. Using the DRS to slingshot back into Pisivoli's DRS. And of course that is the beauty of a track like Baku. It's, well, I wouldn't call it... I think for a commentator it's quite nice, but as a driver, if I was Pisivoli right now, I'd be so pissed off because I keep dropping these guys, and then they just DRS back in and I can do nothing about it because they're like... well, it wasn't really working together, but that's how you can do it as well. You work together as a train. The car in the lead of the train simply lets the car in 2nd place in that train. Like say you're in P6, P7 and P8, and you just keep swapping every DRS train. The guy in 6th goes to 8th, the guy in 7th to 6th, and the guy in 8th to 7th. And you just keep doing that. You gain time on every single straight if you're trying to catch, say, the guy in P5. And you can do the same, of course, when you are in P2, 3 and 4, trying to catch the guy in P1. And well, it happened within 1 DRS zone every time, so I wouldn't even say it was intentional or teamwork, but you can do it that way. And I think if Pisivoli had actually started building a gap, they would have done it that way, because it's so obvious how much time you gain, and of course it's a mutual benefit for everyone to work together in that way, because you can catch the leader, and all of you can then have a go at him. So, 4 laps to go, 4 cars battling for P1, Pisivoli, Scarfax, Gabri and Sully. Absolutely no track limit penalties as well, which is beautiful to see, so it's all battles out on track that will decide the finishing order. Sean and Aussie battling over 5th, and then the next cars who are close together are Pix, Always Lanky in 8th to 10th, with Kuko close-ish behind as he taps the barrier on the inside. Hasn't gotten damage though, so good luck for the V-Card man. Both Pisivoli and Scarfax with loads of ERS. Pisivoli is trying to break the ERS to him. Sully has lost ERS to Gabri. And Scarfax, has he lost ERS to Pisivoli? Those mediums, of course, they are showing some sense of wear for sure. They're not gonna get a puncture or anything, but they might be slower than the hards come the end of the race, and that could be the crucial couple of thousandths. Yellow flags for Kuko, who's crashed at turn 15, and another safety car! So late on the race, Kuko has gone straight on here at turn 15. The safety car has been deployed, PC Woody in, Scarfax in, Gabrin in, Sully in, Sean in, Aussie in, Phantom in, Pix. Well, he's way behind, this is awkward now. And of course, soft tires for all of them. All of the cars that came from the pits on the softs. Pix in, Allwise in, Lanky in. Viral into the pits as well. And yeah, soft compound tires for every single driver. It'll be, what, a 2-lap sprint to the end, I think, or a 3-lap sprint? Should be in at the end of lap 24. So yeah, a 2-lap sprint we will have to the line. Viral, a wing change and some soft as well. An action rig, I will assume also soft compound tires for him. And this is gonna be some crazy stuff, I think. I mean, 2 laps to decide the race. No time penalties whatsoever, so everyone on absolutely equal conditions here. Equal tires, equal cars, equal penalties. And the DRS will be open for, well, 2 DRS straights on lap 26. Kuko leaving the session. He was on for some points. Oh well, for 1 point. Before he put it in the barrier. Very unfortunate for Kuko. He had said before the race he hadn't actually played the game in 2 weeks, so I'm impressed he lasted this long, honestly, but eventually it was too much to handle, this track. So yeah, once Rival and Action Rig have caught up, which hopefully will be at the end of the next lap. I think it will go in end of lap 24 anyway. I don't think it waits longer than the last 2 laps of the race. But wow, this is gonna be so interesting, because what strategy do you go for here if you're PC Woody? I mean, for Scarfax, I think it's obvious that you wait for the last straight, because if you go for it earlier than that, PC Woody has the chance to counter. So you don't want to try and, like, because also with the DRS disabled, the only way he can make a move happen is by burning all of his ERS, which will then be, that will then cost him when he's in the lead and has to defend on the last lap. So for sure the play for Scarfax is to stay behind. But then that's difficult, of course. Slanky brought us back in the pits. That's difficult, trying to make sure he stays behind PC but ahead of Gabri. So that'd be a tough balancing act. Lanky back onto a different set of softs. And he's gonna lose the place to Action Rig for that, I think. It's close. No, he's not lost anything, so he's just the 1 lap of tire wear. Seriously? That is some big sweaty hours. Yeah, and for PC Woody, I mean, do you try and save all or most of your ERS for that last straight? Or do you try and build a gap? I mean, you only have 2 laps. 1.5 laps really until you get to the last straight. It's pretty much half a lap. Yeah. What do you do in this scenario? I'm very happy that I can sit here in the commentary booth and see how it plays out. As a driver, I mean, I've been in this situation before, and let me tell you, it is not a fun one. The last lap of Baku in a DRS train like this, it's an experience. Because, I mean, for PC Woody and Scarfax, actually, I would say it's tactically the most difficult. But in behind, I mean, these guys, they have DRS anyway. If they make the move, as long as they stay in it for the second. They have no reason to be careful at, like, it's do or die. If we're 2 laps from here, of course, you don't want to put the car in the barrier, but you also want to make up some places. And, I mean, even if you're last, You can see P1 from here. Action Brake can see PC Wooly. Of course, it's quite tough to overtake 11 cars within 2 laps, but what my point is, you have plenty of potential in these 2 laps if you make those moves happen. If you stay out of chaos to make up a lot of places or also lose a lot of places. This race, you've just done 24 laps and you can either throw it all away or make up for all the mistakes you've made on all the incidents you've been caught up in within these last 2 laps. PC Wooly will take control of the restart. Safeguard in the pits, he can go whenever he wants to now. And he's gone. And a decent restart, but Scuffex and Gabri are both not far behind. Gabri actually with a run on Scuffex, it looks like, into turn 1. Scuffex outbrakes him though and he's fine in 2nd place there. Viral made a move on Pix for 9th. Gabri having to defend from Sully for 3rd place. All staying where they are. Calm so far. I haven't seen any massive dive bombs. Sully having to defend from Sean in behind now. Lanky with a move on Pix. And battles going on in the background. We've got Lanky and Pix still side by side. Lanky coming out on top. And Pix with a massive wobble. And PC Wooly, without using much ERS, is pulling away quite a big gap from Scuffex to PC Wooly. Scuffex needs to stay a lot closer than that if he wants to be able to make the move on the last lap. I'm positively surprised at how calm this has been. I'm seeing very little desperation. I think the drivers are actually more concerned about throwing stuff away than they are about gaining stuff right now. Viral, he's looking to be on the move for 8th place against Owise. Scarfix is close in a bit to PC Wooly, but he's burned a bit of ERS to do so. Of course, a point for the fastest lap up for grab as well, but I don't think anyone is really worried about that one right now. They are all focused on the car behind and ahead of them. And here they come, down towards turn 1. Gabri is going to have the run on both of them. 3 wide into turn 1, coming onto the last lap. Scarfix on the inside, PC Wooly in the middle, Gabri on the outside. It's PC Wooly coming out in the lead. Then Gabri and Scarfix still side by side into turn 2. Scarfix outbrakes him on the inside and stays in 2nd place, but quite a bit of ERS burn for Scuffex and Gabri, and Sully suddenly involved. Gabri with another run on Scuffex as he tries to take 2nd place. Sean in the background making a move on Sully. Sully now down to 5th place, and it looks like a Sean is the inside line, surely the advantage. No, still battling into turn 4. Sean now around the outside. Can he get a traction? And then down towards the chicane, still side by side. Sean with the inside line once again, will turn to the outside for the 2nd part. Does he have to run? He tries a switchback, can't get underneath him. Now with the exit, Sully's gonna have to back out. Yes, Sean has taken 4th place. Sully dropping more points now. And all of a sudden, we've got a 15-point swing in favor of PC Wooly if he holds on to this lead. But Scarfix is not far behind PC Wooly. Look at the amount of ERS he has. Scarfix is got a big gap there, 5/10, and a 40% ERS gap, which is the more damning one, I think. Gabri might need to slow down a bit. Gabri, slow down, give Sean the ERS. You're too far behind anyway for PC Wooly and Scarfix. Let Sean take 4th place ahead of Sully. Very smart. Scarfix, is he close enough to PC Wooly? Is PC Wooly far enough away? As Viral gets a penalty on the last corner of the race. I think Scarfix, yes, he's too far behind. PC Wooly is gonna be your race winner here in Baku for the 2nd time this week. PC Wooly wins both Division 1 and Division 2 in Baku, the full 25 points going his way. Scarfix taking 2nd place, then Gabri in 3rd, Sean in 4th, Sully only in 5th, almost still losing out to Aussie in 6th place there. Then Phantom and Lanky Brown coming home in 7th and 8th for Alpine. Wow, what a finale we had there, once again. A bit calmer, I actually thought it would have been a lot more chaotic, but a battle to the line nonetheless. At the front. It wasn't clear who'd win it, but PC Wooly has done an amazing job today. And a very, very, very well deserved race win. And all of a sudden, that massive points gap that he had to Sully is looking a lot more manageable. Beforehand, the gap from PC to Sully was 47, now it's only 32. And worth mentioning, the points gap from Gabri to Sully also, it was 32 before this race, and now, with Gabri scoring 15, Sully only scoring 10, it's down to 27 points. Wow. Otherwise, coming home in 9th, Pix in 10th, and Viral, he would be 11th, but he left the lobby, so he's 12th because of a desync glitch when he leaves the lobby before the result screen. So yeah, Viral 11th, Action Vic 12th, then Kuko in 13th, Bazooka 14th, Edwin 15th, the last three having DNF from the race. That has been the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and actually, the fast lap point for Gabri as well. That's another point for him. And every point in the championship battle will count. Gabri and PC Willy, I think, within half a chance as well still. Of course, Sean, he did also gain on Sully, but only by 2 points, and he needs to gain 47, so yeah, let's see about that one. Tough amount of points to gain when you're gaining 2 points only per race, but that has been the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And yeah, my drive of the day for sure. PC Willy, Scarfax with a great race as well. The comeback after the early incident with Edwin. Sean as well from further down the grid. Gabri also. I mean, the entire top 5 really with great races. And that is the level that we have in Division 2 nowadays. The level in Division 2 is risen so far from. I remember when I first started Division 2. When we first done Division 2, when I first commentated Division 2, it was a laughing stock. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. It was a fun league. It was mostly newcomers to league racing, taking it. I wouldn't say not taking it seriously, but like having fun with it. And there were the occasional mistakes and quite, yeah, weird incidents. And there still is some of that, of course. But at this point, Division 2, of course, it's nothing like PSL F1 or anything like that. And let's not blow it out of proportion here. But the top drivers in Division 2 are very, very good drivers, very experienced drivers as well. I mean, Sully has been in F1 Total, for example, and PC Willy as well. They've both been in F1 Total for so long. Like, before COVID, they've been racing in here for half a decade. And you can tell, it's so nice to see Division 2 like this. And to have a title fight, yeah, I mean, I'm just getting lost in the words, but we have a title fight in every single season of Division 2. I think we've had a really, really good title fight so far. And to have that be continued into Season 15, yeah. It's been a really, really nice year in Division 2 for F1 Total. So I would like to thank you all for 2024. Enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your holidays, spend some time with your family. And yeah, we'll be seeing you next year, 2025. Our next race will be, of course, in Division 1. On the 4th of January. Saturday, of course, it's always 7:30 PM UK. We'll have the Monaco Grand Prix coming up next. And in Division 2 on the 8th of January. Is that right? Yeah. Wednesday the 8th. Also Monaco, of course, 7:30 PM UK time. Yeah, what an end to 2024. Another great race. A couple of incidents, but nothing too bad, I would say, at least from what I've seen. I would like to thank the drivers, thank the rest of the admin team that has joined us this year, starting, taking over from the old guys who still do the stewarding in NLP, Luki, and Marco. None of them play the game anymore, so we had to bring in new admins. And Sully has joined us on the stewarding side as well, and the admin team, Phantom Fox, Sully, Marcelio. Thank you guys very much for taking over on the admin side. They've been helping me out quite a bit. 2025 should be a great year for F1 Total. I think we've got the esports division starting. Quite a lot of help on that side from Lars as well, which I'm very, very thankful for. He's been bringing in a lot of the teams, and yeah, I can quickly go through the sign-up channel actually. So far we've got the NLR development team. Well, that wasn't quite hard. We we signed that one up ourselves. It was the first sign-up. Then we have a team from PIX, LPAR. We have IRT, International Racing Team, joining us, DLX, and Hyper Racing Team so far. So yeah, a handful of sign-ups so far, and some more to come for sure. Been talking to some other teams, so that should be really, really good. That one's starting up in a couple of weeks as well. The qualifying night, if we get more than 10 sign-ups, which I think we will be on the 19th of January. So yeah, on Sunday the 19th. That will be Sunday on 7 p.m. with a full qualifying. That's when we start 30 minutes earlier. And of course the Nations Cup coming up as well in the break between seasons. That will be yeah, on the... Oh god. I don't know my own scheduling anymore. On the 8th of February will be the first race of the Nations Cup. Yeah, drivers representing their nations, where they're from. Very, very excited for that as well. And yeah, one more season on F1 24, which the game has not been too great. Hopefully F1 25 will be better. I'm very much looking forward to that. The calendar for next season has also already been decided, so we're all set up for season 16. With a new addition as well, the 7th round of the season will be a mystery track, where the track will be randomly decided about 15 minutes before we open the lobby. I'll just spin a wheel, or like, I don't know. We'll see how we do that, but it will be a randomly decided track out of the tracks that are not in the calendar, so that should be exciting. The drivers will not know the track until, yeah, just before the race. They have just enough time to get sorted in terms of a setup, get maybe 1 or 2 laps in, and then they have to go join the lobby. That should be fun. Yeah, that's all I think. Nothing more to say from my side. Thank you very, very much for watching, and we'll see you in the new year for the Monaco Grand Prix. Goodbye.